Welcome to the Faith Geek Podcast. The Faith Geek Podcast is your weekly source for all things current in geek culture. From entertainment to sports, parenting to religion. Be sure to check us out on the web by visiting www.thefaithgeek.com. Now, let us welcome Brent Whetstone and Joe Gerbery.
Hey guys, welcome to the Faith Geek Podcast, a very special edition today. We're broadcasting to you from downtown Warren, Ohio at the Packard Music Hall, and we have a good portion of the Faith Geek team here assembled. We are at All American, and we are broadcasting right from the convention center floor, so you'll notice the background noise of the hundreds and hundreds of people that are talking, so you'll forgive that in advance, I'm sure. That's what you get.
It's going to be a little loud.
Live radio.
It's going to have a lot of background noise, but you're going to deal with it.
I'm kind of eating right now, so don't really mind me that much.
This is the first time Chris gets to eat all day. We've allowed him to finally eat.
You had hot dog shop.
He only had one. Someone stole his hot dogs.
Oh, well.
I'm not going to say who it was.
I think I'll live.
It wasn't me, though. So, great turnout today for a local con. There had to be over 1,000 people here. And I think that's conservative estimate. So, awesome
In and
job.
out, yeah, definitely over 1,000 probably, I would imagine.
For sure. Awesome job to Greg and his crew for putting this on. You guys did a fantastic job. And that, of course, is Greg Bartholomew from All American Cards and Comics in downtown Warren and in Boardman, Ohio. So make sure if you're in those areas, you stop by and check them out. But there's been a lot going on today with the cosplay panel, Cosplay 101, hosted by Night Mage and some of his fellow cosplayers. And then there was a cosplay contest that we actually just came from, which was pretty neat because it was broken up into age groups, and there were a lot of good showings from each age group.
Oh yeah, it was for a con this size. This was actually a very good turnout as far as a cosplay contest, because I've been to other cons that are slightly bigger than this, and they didn't have anywhere near as big of a turnout as they did here. Mm-hmm. Especially with such a large age group. I mean, they had a 12 and under group, which 4 contestants for that, 4 in the 13 through 17. And then the number of adults participating was just really, really big, really good. Very good turnout, and I'm really pleased with this convention in general. I think Greg did a good job as far as promoting it and making sure that the word got out about this, so that there were plenty of people that definitely wanted to show up. It's been really good. Not a whole lot of events and things, but just the sheer number of vendors and people that you can talk to and mingle with is really good turnout.
Well, that's what I was just going to talk about, the what would be considered the vendor alley, with all the local artists that are here. There's so much talent represented from the Northeast Ohio area. It's pretty awesome to see that we have some great artists that could show up to things like this. But the artist alley here is huge. I didn't expect it to be as big as what it was with as many vendors as they have in there.
Right. Well, that's when I heard that Greg was going to be having it at Packard Music Hall, I didn't think he was going to be able to fill it as much as he did. And although the building itself really isn't that big, like, it's for what he's got, there's quite a bit here. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'd almost say might have to look for a larger venue next year.
I was thinking that too. Yeah, it was a little.
Because if I'm not mistaken, there's over 60 artists and vendors in there.
Pretty close, yeah.
Which for a con this size is a great.
That's huge for a con this size.
I want to talk a little bit about the Cosplay 101 panel. I got to sit in just for a few minutes of it, but I think Chris, you were down there for it.
Yeah, I was there for the whole time. Actually, took a video of it, and we'll be posting that up fairly soon.
Yeah, and we have tons of video that's going to be going up, not only from this con, but from Colossal Con as well.
Right. Yes, we've had a few technical difficulties as far as our camera work and some other editing software, but we should be getting stuff up pretty soon.
So, Joe, have you, if I'm not mistaken, this is your first con?
This
is Joe's first con.
Really? I didn't know that, Joe.
Nope. Never been to anything like this
It's
before,
good to break him in with a nice local con.
Yeah.
What are your overall impressions of what a Comic Con is so far?
It's basically kind of pretty much how I envisioned it. You know, a lot of books and vendors and stuff like that. You know, I thought there would be maybe a little bit more artists, but you know, but there's a bunch of cosplayers too. I was actually really surprised at the number for being such a small town area that we're in. That it was that we had as many cosplayers as there are. As Harley Quinn walks out with her giant hammer.
Yeah.
So,
I kind of lost count of how many people I think she bunked with that thing. Yeah.
Well, what's really cool about the cosplay competition was the mayor of Warren was actually one of the guest judges. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was neat that Mayor Franklin came down and he was able to be part of that. It just goes to show, like we've talked about this when we did the Free Comic Book Day event, the city of Warren is really rallying behind things like Free Comic Book Day and like this comic convention because they know it brings people in and it's a positive image for the city.
Right, yeah, these guys, I mean, this group, you know, of people are definitely the group that's not, it's more of a calmer clientele than what's
as opposed to the Broadway shows they bring down here where they're really rowdy.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, compared to the area that Warren has been in the past,
right?
This is a lot cleaner of a group than, you know, what Warren is known for around there, you know, from supporting areas and stuff like that. So.
Right, and they've done a lot. I know Greg's heavily involved in a lot of that,
absolutely.
With changing the image of downtown and the concert series down at the amphitheater and everything like that. So make sure, you know, you local people who are listening, make sure you support stuff like this because this is what's really going to continue the uptick for the city and, you know, start bringing more stuff to downtown. And we want that. I mean, Warren being the county seat for Trumbull County, we want to have that positive image and we want to have these kind of events going on. And we, as, you know, I'm a Warren resident. None of you guys are. They're not, but being a Warren resident,
I was for
like a
28 years.
No, but you lived in Howland. It's not really Warren.
It is true Warren. I have a Warren mailing address.
Okay, it's an 8-4 zip code.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not Warren.
It's Warren.
Anyway, so it's been a nice thing. So make sure you guys continue to support stuff like this. It'd be really awesome to see double the people out for this next year, which
Absolutely.
I think is possible.
I
because
think it's very possible. That's with the way that conventions have been growing lately, especially within the Northeast Ohio area in general. It just seems that these kind of events are exploding because people are looking for good, positive things to do. Mm-hmm. As there's just so much negativity going around anymore, and people need to have fun. It's like you need to just enjoy yourself every so often and let loose and do what you enjoy to do.
Right. Sorry, I got a text message. But what I was going to say is this was, like, not only was this a family-friendly event, but it was a family-affordable event with the entrance fee only being $3 per person. I mean, a con this size, normally you're going to spend more than that. So, definitely very affordable. And then there were some pretty awesome guests here, too. Mm-hmm. Jim Steranko, who... aside from the Faith Geek,
of course, we're number one here.
Right.
Anyway,
but Jim Steranko, who was the original creator for Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., back during the Silver Age of comic books. So, like, bringing in a big name like that is pretty awesome. And then Daryl Banks, who actually... we're actually going to have Night Mage joining us, and Night Mage is like a very famous, awesome cosplayer who's hosting an event in 2 weekends, Cosplay for Charity in Youngstown, Ohio, where a bunch of him and his cosplay buddies are getting together. They're bowling against each other to raise money for local charities here in Northeast Ohio. So we're going to have him on the podcast in just a little bit. So stay tuned for that. But I want to go back to the cosplay competition and talk a little bit about what we saw, what was popular, and the trends that we're seeing from con to con in terms of who people are cosplaying.
Well, it really all depends on, I think, a lot as far as the type of convention that we're going to. This being primarily a comic book convention, you're seeing a lot more comic book characters. Like I've been seeing a lot of X-Men around here. There's Deadpool, a lot of other DC and Marvel characters, and that seems to be the trend around for this convention for sure. I believe I even saw a Catwoman. That was an amazing costume.
Yeah, the Catwoman cosplay was amazing.
Yeah.
And we'll have pictures of all these up on our Facebook page.
We've been taking plenty of pictures, that's for sure. And then definitely at the anime conventions, you see a lot more of the anime or video game type characters, because that's a lot of what is mostly sought after in those type of conventions and groups. And that's just in general, it just seems to be that people are just wanting to dress up and be whoever it is that they really enjoy and that they seem to like and look forward to the most.
And that's awesome. Like you and I were actually talking before we came on air about the whole point of cosplay.
Or the correct look for whatever you're looking for. Just as long as you put it together the way that you're able to, the way that you want, and then you just go and you have fun with it. Doesn't matter if you bought the costume from somebody else, or you went to a thrift store and put it together that way, or completely sewed every single piece yourself.
Right.
It just matters as putting it together yourself and putting it on and then going out and showing off that character to other people, because that's what you enjoy, that's what you like. And that's really the main point about cosplay.
Well, and the awesome thing too is what you see with like the cosplay scene is it's not like an age restricted thing. You see people cosplaying all ages of the spectrum. I know my daughter just texted me after she left with my wife, and she said that the next one we go to, she wants to cosplay one of the vampires of Venice from Doctor Who.
Oh my gosh, that'd be awesome.
She's already thinking of the ideas of how she's going to put together her outfit. And then my other daughter wants to go as a Weeping Angel. So, we have a family of Doctor Who geeks.
Yeah.
But
I did see a TARDIS walking around as well.
There was a TARDIS walking around. But, so, like that, it's just cool because it could be a family thing.
Yeah.
And there's no age restriction to it. And like what you said, like, you don't have to be super muscular or have muscles at all to be a superhero.
Exactly.
That's the superhero you want to be. You build a costume, you get the costume, you put it together, and you go and you be that person.
You be the best Batman, Superman, Green Lantern that you want to be.
Why you would want to be anyone other than Superman, I have no idea, but,
Tastes are tastes.
Yeah, whatever.
I think he's ready.
Okay. If you want to go grab Night Mage and see if he's ready. Yeah. So we're going to be joined in just a minute by Night Mage, and we're going to talk about cosplay for charity. So we're going to welcome him to the podcast. Night Mage, welcome to the Faith Geek Podcast. We're huge fans of yours.
Thank you. Hello.
I gotta say, I was on Facebook the other day, and I saw you repost something that you were featured by the Nerdist.
Yeah.
And we're huge Nerdist fans. Like, we have man crushes on Chris Hardwick. So, like, when I saw
anything that you've touched that he has as well, then we would like to see it.
The Nerdist, they do this weekly, Friday cosplay thing.
Uh-huh.
So they post, the best cosplay they've seen around the internet every week. So I have to actually say, I've had more than half of my costumes be featured on there.
That's awesome.
So
And it's mostly your Spawn stuff, right?
It's mostly my Spawn stuff, but the latest one was the Shredder.
Okay, that's awesome. Which we saw out at Colossal Con a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about Gospel for Charity.
Yes.
So, which is an event that's coming up in 2 weekends.
Correct.
And where is that at?
It's going to be at Mahoning Valley Lanes.
Mahoning Valley Lanes, which is Youngstown.
2617 Mahoning Avenue, Youngstown.
Okay, which we'll be posting stuff on our Facebook page and on our blog about this. So if you don't catch the address or whatever, it'll be on there for you guys. How did you come up with this idea?
Well, I do a lot of charity events, and I was at a charity event as Batman. It was at the bowling alley, and it was for kids with cancer.
Okay.
And I just decided to do a little one-shot video of me bowling.
Okay.
And I did the video, said something Batman-esque, and bowled and got a strike on the first try.
Oh, wow.
So then I was so proud of myself, and I was thinking, like, it'd be really cool to get, like, a bunch of cosplayers dress up and do a bowling event for charity. Mm-hmm. So started asking my cosplay friends, and they said, yeah, that'd be a great idea. That night it was born.
That's awesome.
Like 2 days later, I had everything going, and so cosplay for charity.
So how can people get involved with helping out? What can they do?
There's one of two things you can do. If you can't make the event, it's okay. All you do is go on Facebook and type in Cosbowl event or Cosbowl for charity. It'll pop up. Go to the events page, and basically what you're going to do is there's 8 cosplayers. Each cosplayer is bowling for a separate charity.
Okay.
My charity I'm going to be bowling for is the Autism Society.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to be bowling as the Tick.
Okay.
With Little Wooden Boy.
Oh, that's awesome.
But, so what I had to do was I had to make a questionnaire for each bowler, and there's 5 tiers, 5 ways to pledge. The first one is first of all, we're gonna play 2 games, 20 frames.
Okay.
At the end of the 2 games, we're gonna count all the points. So you can either pledge for 10 cents a point.
Okay.
And the next tier is $2.50 per spare.
Okay.
Or $5 per strike.
Okay.
And if you're not a gambling person, like if you really don't, gamble, then you could just do a flat pledge of $25 or $50.
Okay, cool.
So you could choose which pledge you want, and then we'll post our scores and do some videos and photos, and at the end, that's how much you donate to the charity.
That's awesome. Now, are they only donating, or are people allowed to come out to the event and support you guys and cheer you on? And
it's a public event.
Okay,
we want people there. We want kids there. It's going to be it's a 50-50 raffle.
Okay.
There's going to be a DJ. There's going to be a professional photographer. So, yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a public event. We want as many people to show up.
So this is a family thing. Bring your kids out.
Absolutely.
Let your kids cheer us on.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes, please.
Is there a cost for them to get in, or is it just, hey, make sure you donate to your favorite superhero?
There's no cost to get in.
Okay.
Now, the bowling lanes, they're still going to be the normal bowling rates.
Okay.
Unless the bowling lanes do something that day. But as of right now, it's going to be the normal bowling rates. So just come out and just hang out and have a good time.
Awesome. Now, I have a question for you, because I see that you travel around to all these cons. Do you have a day job, or are you strictly 100% a cosplayer and that's all you do? Because I'm trying to figure out how you fitted this in.
Like, dude, do you sleep or do you work?
Because I think you're working on a White Ranger costume right now, and it's coming along awesome.
Thank you. My day job is I'm a Mahoning County Deputy Sheriff.
Oh, awesome.
So
cool.
I've been doing that for 14 years.
That's cool.
So that's my day. I'm lucky enough to have my off days fall on the weekend.
That's
so
awesome.
That's how I'm able to get around a lot.
Cool. So you kind of are like a superhero. Because you serve in law enforcement. That is awesome.
Say that.
So he's a real life superhero and he cosplays other
superheroes, which is cool. Is that why sometimes you do villain-esque? Because I
gotta say,
in the daytime you have to be good.
The villains are more fun.
Yeah,
they're more fun to do.
Yeah,
they really are.
That's what amazes me is you've only been cosplaying for what, a year and a half?
About a year and a half.
Wow.
My first convention was the fall 2012. It was Cincinnati Comic Expo. And I went as Batman, and I was just blown away. I was hooked ever since.
That's awesome.
So I'm loving it.
And how many costumes do you have in your collection currently?
The White Ranger will actually make 30.
30. And so you hand make everything,
Yes.
custom build everything for you.
I try and do everything as much as I can. Like the only thing I have not been able to do, I didn't do my Batman cowl.
Okay.
I haven't learned how to cast and do rubber and stuff like that yet. So that I actually had to have commissioned. I have nothing against getting stuff commissioned, but to me, I think you take more pride in your work knowing it came from your hands.
Right.
So, and I like the challenge.
Yeah.
Like, my girlfriend taught me how to sew, so
That's cool.
the Spawn was like my first time sewing my complete outfit myself.
That's really
And
cool.
then, so she's giving me the evil eye. But I just love to keep challenging myself. That's cool.
That's awesome. And I'm so impressed with the stuff that you do. It's amazing. I couldn't sew to save my life, so like
It's actually not that hard. It just looks hard. Once you get the idea of it, it's not hard.
Yeah. Cool.
Same thing with like making armor. It's not as hard as you think it is.
You'll have to teach me.
I will.
Awesome.
Absolutely. I love teaching.
That's cool. And I know you were doing the cosplay panel, which was awesome to see you do that and be able to impart your knowledge to other people who
I always
are
love
into
to.
it.
Like I said, I know a lot of cosplayers, they don't really like to give trade secrets out, but to me, this is about a community of just sharing.
Yeah.
So if anybody out there ever has any like questions, just feel free to hit me up. And
Now, you have a Facebook page. What's your Facebook page?
well, all right, I have two. I have my personal page.
Okay. What's your Night Mage
Well, this is
one?
the thing. I have my personal page that I treat as my fan page.
Okay.
My fan page I treat as my personal. They're all the same.
Okay.
So, however you find me, either Michael Night Mage Wilson or just Night Mage, it doesn't matter.
Okay. Cool.
Send me a friend request. I don't care. I accept everybody.
That's awesome. And he's super cool. Like you'll want to follow him on Facebook to see everything that he's working on. Like I'm amazed. Like I said, every day when you're posting something, it's so cool to see it.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Cool.
Makes Lobo cry.
Well, thanks for coming on. Thank you for letting us know about Cosplay for Charity. Like I said, we'll be putting more on our Facebook page to help you. Family-friendly event that we could all get involved in.
I'm gonna say I'm most interested to see.
We're leaving.
You're out.
Yeah, we got an hour drive. Come on, man.
I'm most interested to see Iron Man try them both.
Yes, that's going to be awesome.
I asked him, how are you going to do that? He's like, I don't know. I'm just going to have to, like, hobble or something. I don't know. So it's going to be fun to see Iron Man both.
Talk to you guys soon.
Well, great. Thank you so much, Night Mage. We appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
We'll see you in a couple weeks at Cosplay for Charity. Your teeth. But you heard that his teeth just fell out on the table as I shook his hand.
Okay, why did you lose in the costume room?
Cool. Well, guys, I think that about wraps it up for our special podcast. Just giving you a brief breakdown of what went on here at All American down in Warren, Ohio. We're laughing because all the cosplayers now are like starting to.
They just randomly came up and
Kind of they're attacking each other. So
We got invaded by the X-Men.
it was all right. Rogue came and punched him in the face.
We're mixing universes. We got X-Men and then Deadpool. That's Marvel, so that's all together. But then we got
Deadshot.
Lobo and Deadshot. From
Yeah,
DC, so.
Marvel and DC crossover ultimate battle just happened before our eyes. And DC,
right in
I'm
front of
proud
our
to say
microphone.
one. But hey guys, we'll be back next week with our normal podcast. Make sure you check out our blog daily. We have new stuff going up. Joe just published a sports article today, so make sure you log on to thefaithgeek.com and check that out.
Multitasking.
Joe's phenomenal like that. We'll be updating the blog with everything that happened this weekend down here at All American. So make sure you check out the blog and our Facebook page for pictures. If you don't follow us on Twitter yet, make sure you follow us on Twitter and Instagram. We've got stuff going everywhere. So this has been your favorite person in the world, Brent Whetstone.
Oh, I was going to say and Brett once. I was going to say and Brent.
And Brent, no.
You know, whatever.
And I've been joined with Chris and Joe. And Karen's actually been here, and she just hasn't talked at all. You know, our professional reporter down there.
Just hanging out.
Just all quiet. So thanks for tuning in, guys. We really appreciate it. We'll see you back next week. Have a great and safe week.
Thank you for listening to the Faith Geek Podcast. The Faith Geek Podcast is brought to you by thefaithgeek.com, your online Christian resource for all things geek culture. Remember, you can always listen to this and any of our archive shows by visiting www.thefaithgeek.com.